says I'll go first.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Corona positive?
Corona positive.
All right, guys. Well, welcome to the first in our trial series for Rebellion Clash coming out in May. Luckily, it has not been delayed due to Rona. Today, we're going to start off our series with Derek and Meg here playing. Derek in the yellow sleeves is going to be playing a Cinchino control deck, and Meg is going to be playing the new Dragapult VMAX. So let's talk about Dragapult V and Dragapult VMAX for a second. Dragapult V has an attack for Psychic, it just does a basic 30. And then for 2 Psychics, it has an attack called Assault Jet that does 60 damage, and then if it was on your bench and became active, it does 80 more, kind of like Lissapod's first impression attack. Meg will be going first in this game. Derek is hoping to set up kind of a checkmate strategy here with going down to 3 prizes and then taking easy knockouts. But Meg does have these big VMAX Pokemon with a lot of HP, so Derek may have to be careful about how he uses his gust effects if he's going to go for some of those smaller guys on the bench. While Meg searches her deck, we'll talk about some other new cards in her deck. We've got Dragapult VMAX. It has a Psychic Energy, does Shred for 60 damage, and it's not affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. And then it has Giganto Phantom, does 130 damage for 2 Psychic, and then you can put 5 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon in any way you like. Definitely a cool effect, especially with some of these smaller hit point Pokemon that Derek has in his deck. Meg might be going into like a constant stream of Giganto Phantoms just to set up some knockouts for if Derek goes for that stinger play. Definitely helpful. Probably a card that's not going to see a lot of great use here is going to be Har Psychic Energy. When it's attached, it provides a Psychic Energy, and then if it's the active Pokemon and is damaged by an attack, you put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon, and there we see it hitting the graveyard over there, the discard pile. So Meg, starts off her turn with 2 Inkays and a Jirachi. Definitely not a bad start for her. Doesn't really need to get the Dragapult V down just yet, and with those 2 Inkays, if they become 2 Malamars, she might be able to pull off like a real quick Assault Jet, depending on what she has going on. And we've seen the Skateboard come down onto Inkay, going into Jirachi, looking for some extra cards. So for those of you at home, here's a question for you to think about and post your answer in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen to the World Championships this year? With the pandemic worries that we canceled a whole lot of regionals. Derek, first turn supporter.
No first turn supporter.
So he started.
I still am.
Yeah, we caught Derek before he put that hand down with Marnie, so definitely not a problem there, but go back to what I was saying, though, with the pandemic canceling a bunch of regionals, we haven't heard any word on, North America Intercontinentals. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that the point requirement's going to go down? Do you think we're even going to have a Worlds this year? Could this be the Worlds that's held on PTCGO? It's a lot of possibilities for what we could see this year. It's kind of an unprecedented thing to happen right now. We see a quick ball throwing away that Island Challenge amulet. Getting a Minchino to the field. Minchinos and Chinchinos being able to draw a lot of cards is pretty nice for Derek. Of course, he starts with everybody's favorite Sword Doge, Zacian. He'll probably utilize that Intrepid Sword at some point in this turn just to kind of pad his hand out a little bit. Zacian will be able to tank a few hits off of whatever Meg has got, which is good for him. Yep. And he just passes with the Minchino and the Zacian. I mean, he's definitely not in a bad place to have this happen. He knows Meg had that Marnie, so maybe what it's in his hand, he just kind of wanted to see go to the bottom of the deck since we didn't see an Intrepid Sword. We didn't see, looked like he had another Minchino in his hand that didn't come down. So he may just be biding his time. But here we see Meg get that Dragapult V Again, it's got a Psychic for Bite for 30, and the 2 Psychics does 60 plus 80 if he becomes Meg's active Pokemon. Meg playing that Marnie, shuffles her 1 card hand in, puts it on the bottom of the deck. She gets 5, and Derek gets 4. We decided to kind of go this route with starting our Rebellion Clash testing a little early since, there are no regionals, there's no League Cups, there's no League Challenges. We can't even talk like the pre-release meta here because, those are canceled. So we just said, let's go straight into some new stuff. Derek just kind of came with an old tried and true that he had been playing and decided to rock that deck. For these lists that we're playing that, have a lot of the new cards in them, we basically kind of scour the internet for, lists that did well in Japan and decks that we just think are interesting. So we've got, quite a few videos that we'll be putting out next couple days. Hopefully it kind of entertains you with this lack of, Pokemon going on in the world. Check with your local league, though. A lot of leagues locally are offering like a Discord, PTCGO-based league setting. I know some people are trying to get like webcam play going. So, if you're jonesing for some Pokemon, you still got your options.
Question: can Psychic Recharge get the special?
No.
Okay.
If you couldn't hear, Meg was verifying Psychic Recharge does not get back car Psychic Energy because it only counts as a Psychic when it is in play. See a Vitality Band coming in down on Dragapult. Meg going into another Jirachi here. Just won't grab that research for next turn, assuming nothing happens to her hand, and she just goes ahead and passes over to Derek. So you see part of that checkmate strategy coming down with Poipole, being able to sting her to reset the game down to just a few prize cards, so you can, take advantage of Meg having limited resources to play the game after a few turns. Great ball, grabbed himself another Zacian. Probably more so for deck fitting than anything else. Kind of down the line, Derek's will be hoping to grab himself a Roxy and spread some damage with coughing and wheezings, blow away bombs. But right now we just see Intrepid Sword, ending his turn. He picks up that Mew, but, important to note that Dragapult's VMAX's second attack, where it drops 5 damage counters, does not get prevented there because it's not damage from an attack. Meg gets down another Dragapult, and she researches away the Marnie. Derek didn't do a whole lot. She probably didn't think she needed to, try to change his hand up too much. One thing that we probably would like to see Meg do last turn was I think she does have 1 Psychic Energy in her discard pile, and she could have got that back last turn to go ahead and get, the Dragapult going early.
Psychic Recharge.
But here comes Dragapult, probably getting ready to drop a Jet Assault. I gotta say, when Sword and Shield came out, Dragapult was one of my favorite Pokemon in terms of design and just like the versatility of in the video game. So when it came to the TCG, I was glad to see it get good cards. We'll be featuring another video coming up with the non-V Dragapult, which we like to call it the Gambler deck. There's gonna be a lot of coin flips going on there, where if it's active, you get hit by an attack, you flip a coin, and on hit, you prevent all the damage from the attack. So it's a neat card. We'll kind of see how much it plays into any strategies. We don't have too high hopes of it, but we always like to kind of just test things out to see what's good. So Meg, she's committed 2 escape boards to the Malamar and to the Jirachi, so she might not be able to move this Jirachi just yet. We see her thin a little bit more, playing the Verdian Force to get a Psychic Energy out. The deck does run a few switches, so maybe she's got the switch in there. Maybe she's going to have to bide her time and actually hope the Jirachi wakes up and then have a turn of not using Jirachi. And Jirachi does wake up. So we see Meowth coming down from Derek, that Persian GX, letting him grab a few extra cards when his GX Pokemon get knocked out, can come in handy after he does that Stinger GX attack. We see the Viridian come out, then card out of his hand.
Pitch Fairy prevents Dragapult, right?
Ooh. No, it just prevents damage. It doesn't prevent the damage counters. You know, I was pretty sure, but when somebody asks you, it's always good just to read the card to make sure. We see Derek ending his turn with an Intrepid Sword. He's not seeming too thrilled about what's going on here.
Pitch. Retreat.
And yeah, Meg just not utilizing that Stellar Wish, which definitely seems like the right play here, going into that Dragapult.
Psychic Recharge.
Powering up her other Dragapult. Jet Assault is 140 damage when it becomes active. You know, kind of working against Derek's strategy here is these Dragapults are actually weak to Dark because he is a Ghost Dragon Pokemon, so none of Derek's like Psychic attackers will be able to come in and hit hard enough to one-shot the Dragapults. And we see Meg play another Marnie. That hand was getting pretty big on Derek's side. Meg probably working her way, trying to find that Dragapult VMAX. Even though Assault Jet's going to feel good, I think like the right strategy here is gain some damage spread early with, oh, and there it goes, with his other attack, which is Giganto Phantom.
Giganto Phantom for 130. And
Wait, it does 5 on the bench?
Mm-hmm. In any way she wants.
I thought that was the Giganto. I mean the VMAX.
Mm-hmm. That is the VMAX.
4
Wow.
and 1.
Meowth getting 1 damage counter and Minccino getting 4. Kind of an interesting way to spread the damage. If she had gone... No. Makes much sense. You know, Meg actually probably would like this Dragapult to get knocked out to trigger Spell Tag. Being able to get some more damage down. Derek's just in a world of hurt. Those Marnies are keeping him from gaining into any real way to draw. He doesn't have any Minccino or Chinchinos on the field. He's kind of just left with Intrepid Sword. You'd see him maybe thin out a little bit with Quick Ball. But he just Intrepid Swords for 3 and has to pass again.
Sure.
So Meg gets a switch, going into Jirachi, trying to get some more supporters. Probably hoping to find herself the other VMAX here. There's not really much she needs at the pace that Derek's going. And then we see the communication, putting the Dragapult back, getting the VMAX. Having that skateboard on Jirachi coming in handy now, being able to go back into Dragapult VMAX to hit pretty hard.
Knockout.
We see a knockout. Some more damage coming down on the Minchinos. Zacian's knocked out, so before you can do anything else, you need to promote. Alright, you see Mew coming up. You know, pretty safe guy here. He's only going to give up 1 prize. Derek Derek utilizing the Viridian, clearing out his hand a little bit more.
I'm going back in.
Here comes a quick ball. Discard an Island Challenge. And here comes one of those wheezings that or coughings that we were talking about. Derek probably eyeing up some Marnie draw or Roxy draw to finally get his game started a little bit. You see Roxy discarding Minchino and coughing, putting 1 on everything and drawing 6 cards. Alright, now we see some of those furry little chinchillas coming out of Derek's deck. Finally letting him get some draw going on, getting him a little more survivability.
Is it just bench or active too?
Everything.
Everything. Yeah. Cards in hand?
5.
Evan finally getting some make do love coming in here. Drawing 4 cards. See that swell in his hand, but doesn't, do too much right now that Meg's got all the energy she's ever going to need. Between these Dragapult. She needs one more to powder up the one on the bench, but if the active is knocked out, she goes into the draft with the skateboard and just psychic recharges energy back onto him. See another quick ball come down. See a coughing coming to hand, probably trying to set up for Roxy again in a following turn. It's ordinary Rod, needing to shuffle some Pokemon back in, probably getting another coughing back. See the Zacian and the coughing go back in. And I think here's kind of the thing in the matchup right now, though, is that Derek can reset himself up to 3 prizes, or Meg back up to 3 prizes after her turn. Giganto Phantom can knock out that Mew and grab either one of the Chinchillas, going down to 2 prizes, and then Derek really would have to consider Stinger at that point if that's the course Meg goes, because then she just can try to knock something else out. If then Derek's only real play then would be sending up Chinchino to kind of delay what happens.
5 cards in hand.
Yep.
And pass.
And then we just see, Derek passing. Alright, and there's the second Psychic Energy on Dragapult VMAX.
Knockout 5.
Alright, and we watch the Mew go down and 5 more damage counters coming on Hoiple. Now everything on Derek's side of the field is within range of that Giganto Phantom finishing up 2 Pokemon. Alright, we see him go into that Naganadel. Stamps Meg down to a 3-card hand. Make do, drawing some extra cards. This is going to be really interesting. I mean, Derek's Naganado's going to give up 2 prizes, and one of those Chinchinos won't give up a prize. So even if he does use Stinger, he's just out of it right now. He's still, drawing 6 cards, spraying a little more damage love on everybody. we see him hiding behind his Persian there. He's gonna try to buy himself another turn. I think, now if you're Meg, if you can get into, boss's orders to grab that Naganado and just end the game, you're in a really good position. See Zacian coming down. That'll be the good sword dog. And there goes Intrepid Sword. So I think if Meg doesn't have that boss's orders in her hand already, being able to switch into that Jirachi is a great idea just to try to wrap the game up quicker. Is really the best Derek has next turn is he retreats the Persian to hide behind Zacian. See the VMAX switching. Going into the Jirachi here. And there's Stelwish. See a switch coming down. Restore that Dragapult, and we see a switch into Dragapult.
Um, 140.
No one. Shouldn't they have 150 on it?
It does 130.
Plus the Vitality Band.
So, oh right.
Yeah. So this is where that Vitality Band is going to come into play, is that now even if that Persian retreats, the extra damage off Giganto Phantom can pick up a quick knockout on it. So I guess Meg here is really considering what she does. It seems like the ideal play here is
3.
knocking out one of the Chinchinos. That way she just locks up game next turn no matter what Derek promotes. But she's looking to spread damage around a little bit.
And 2. Wait, does it have to go to the bench?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I put 3 on that guy, right? Put the 2 on Naganado.
Alright.
And 5.
So Nagi grabs 2 more damage. It's our first time playing these decks, and I think it may be a little bit of a mistake not to just grab one of those Chinchinos. Just if Derek has the triple acceleration energy and can hide behind Zacian, kind of puts Meg in a place where she needs that boss's orders again, whereas previously she just needed to get an attack. And we see Derek, play that Roxy, putting 2 damage counters on everybody this time and drawing 6 cards. And Derek's hanging in there the best he can, trying to build up some damage. behind of what his options are here. Make do, tossing to Tate and Liza. Another make do. For those keeping track at home, he does have a Tate and Liza in his hand, but he's already blown away bomb, so he can't refresh his deck. So this is kind of his all or nothing moment here. Meg looking at that Persian, not really familiar with it. It's been a little while since it's seen play in this neck of the woods. Here we go. You can see the communication, putting back Oranguru to give himself another turn of being alive.
Just attach this.
Yeah, there's flashback for 150.
Here, Derek goes ahead and slashes his way on out of there, hiding behind that Zacian. If Meg had just gone ahead and knocked out a Cinchino last turn, she'd be on the game win this turn, but now she's got to find
134, 1.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
Meg's trying to leave her options if, well, I mean, she can't really get stingered any lower than she is.
What's this? You said 4 and what?
4, 1.
This guy has though 140 from
I don't know why I keep doing
140, yeah. So Derek, before we had started this video, said he had kind of figured out a plan on how best to handle Meg's deck, but now, you know, it seems like his plan is not going quite the way he planned it, if you will. I see the Roxy coming down,
one on each.
spreading some more damage out there. Air balloon hiding behind a Persian. The way it makes up her damage, it's not really going to matter because she's going to be able to get a knockout on the other Persian and Cinchino. You know, Derek just wanted to get his prizes here. Like, goes right in. There's nothing she really needs to do outside of declare
One,
the
and
knockouts.
The rest on the...
And Dragapult takes game 1 here in this best of 3 series.
Wait, it's best of 3?
Yeah. Derek getting a sigh of relief there. He's like, I want y'all to know I'm not a trash player, guys.
Yeah, I was remembering the stinger and I was like,
You
I
hit
should
it
just
once.
spread to make a 3.
You should have
Just
just
be able to take
knocked
3.
out the Persian that last turn. You should have just knocked it.
Because then you would just stinger me. I
So,
wanted to be able to take all 3 at the same time.
so far, how are you feeling about Dragapult? In that match, what
Actually,
were you thinking in that match?
I kind of like
Spread
it.
damage as much as possible.
Yeah, Dragapult's one of those neat cards that kind of offsets the advantage that one prizers have. You know, where you can just get some extra damage on the field, be able to set up some knockouts on some of those support Pokemon. It's definitely a neat tool for decks like this to be able to work with.
I like to go against that stinger. I didn't want to take another prize. Just wanted to take all three at the end.
I just couldn't hit a Roxy to save my life. Like every time I was. Then I'll go first.
Alright, so in game 2, Derek is going to be going first. They're already about halfway through their time limit here. Got about 30 minutes left in the round. We do try to keep it, as close to tournament life as we can.
That was only 20 minutes. Wow. Felt so much longer.
Right?
I like this just hearing that mindset with Cincinnati playing against it.
Yeah.
It's about to take like 2 hours. I was thinking about instructing, not instructing, resource management. That's like the only thing I really had left. But it was good.
You had no bench space there.
Yeah, I know.
Because I wasn't taking any more knockouts.
Yeah. I was hanging in there. Slashback.
I was just getting all my numbers in a row.
Slashback GX is busting.
Alright, so they've had a little bit of strategy talk here about, what they thought in game 1, what are they going to do going forward.
This hand is dookie.
What?
Oh, there you go.
Meg's got mulligan and Derek's complaining about his hand, so hopefully this, extra card helps him out a little bit.
Hopefully. Oh, wait, I didn't see a second.
Oh, maybe he's a little more excited about it. He kind of looks at the hand, sees he's got a second great ball. Yeah, definitely can't complain.
Oh, that failed miserably.
Meg trying to harass some people on the couch, flicking paper at them.
Give it.
You failed.
Alright, Meg's checking it out.
Gas.
Derek's extra excited about that extra card he got. He grabbed himself a Ditto Prism Star, which, definitely helps out. Especially when you start with the Lone Meow.
Just don't go first.
Alright.
It just gets better for him. He throws down that Ditto. He's got a couple great balls in hand. He's got a quick ball in hand. He's got the Roxy in hand. I think maybe what we want to see Derek do here is grab himself a Minchino, throw it down, and preserve that Roxy. Oh, we get to see the Sausage, which is another good option. But maybe preserve that those great balls to see what he can do next turn with his Roxy. Maybe he'll play one of them trying to dig for, another basic. But he's got, a lot of options. Still early on yet.
If I play 4 rats and can't hit 2 great ones. The rat.
There goes the Minchino. So this is probably a good spot as Derek would want to be in. He's got 2 options for Chinchino next turn. He's got that Intrepid Sword this turn. You could just save the Ditto altogether. Oh, here comes another great ball. And he grabs another Minchino. So hopefully this doesn't affect him, adversely next turn, not have any real guaranteed draw other than that Intrepid Sword. And we saw that, Intrepid Sword versus Marnie is not always a great life to live.
It is not. Intrepid Sword.
And there goes that Intrepid Sword. But he gets some good cards off of it, so maybe he'll be able to capitalize on it.
Quick ball on this your turn.
Alright, so Meg's doing a double search here. You see Dragapult coming down, ready to throw his little dreepy torpedoes out. You see 2 Dragapults coming down.
All the squid animals.
I feel like one supporter I've considered putting into this deck would be Sonya, where it'll let Meg or whoever's playing it go and search for either 2 basic Pokemon or 2 basic energy and add them to your hand, which, isn't bad, especially like in a start like this where you're able to go into those other guys real quick and then you just still need your Inkays. But in the general aggressive style of this deck, I don't think I'd run it more than a 1 of. And we ran out of Professor's Research, so we see that Professor Sycamore coming down. We all know what it does. It's all good. I think this deck actually plays like 1 Sycamore, 1 Real Research, and 1 Proxy Research. So, kind of handy there.
And then a gym for the other one.
Right, Meg gets Viridian, allowing her to get into some energy kind of early. Oh, there's a fun inclusion that we haven't talked about. Some Evital GX in there. The way that you can throw those damage counters around, you see a big threat, you throw 4 damage counters on, then you doom count it. It's a neat little tech. We didn't have to see it last game, but it is something Derek should be aware of now that he's seen it. Looks like you can also see that Blacephalon with blow away bombs in the discard pile. Another fun inclusion. If Meg decides to get back into that and Derek decides to stinger, that could be, a whole lot of interesting things that could happen to Derek here.
That is really bad of a match.
Derek just saying, I wish I hadn't got paired up against this. This thing is scary.
Just that blend. She's doing more spread out damage than on me.
Talking about between Baby Blounds and everything he has. Oof.
30.
You can see it come in and just taking a bite out of Meowth. The bite's really not too relevant now. If Mega had even the Vitality Band wouldn't have made too much of a difference. It just make the number of things needed to get the Persian later on smaller. So one thing Meg kind of noted between games there was that she'd really like to be able to go to 3 prizes and then jump from 3 prizes to 0, not to entice Derek to want to use Stinger. And I think that's a good game plan here. She was able to avoid knocking out any of his GX Pokemon to not trigger Catwalk from Persian, which is definitely big.
Catwalk is just knockout GX, right?
Mm-hmm. So I see one of these little furry chinchillas coming down a little earlier.
Big one.
The chinchilla, but it's cool. It's a chinchilla.
So not having that
Chinchilla.
early disruption off of Marnie kind of worked out for Derek to land him again to one of his Minchinos there. See the Poiple coming down, saying, "Kill my Ditto and I've still got Stinger alive." Yeah, we see Intrepid Sword. Now this kind of starts Meg off on that path that she wants to. We know she had the VMAX from last turn, and she goes ahead and uses the Viridian Force, gain Giganto Phantom online again. She's going to be able to knock out this Meowth, and she's got her pick of the litter on what she wants to knock out after that. The low HP of a lot of these Pokemon Derek's playing, she can set up easy numbers to where she gets the kill that she wants to get. We didn't see it last game, but she is playing a couple copies of Boss's Orders, which is reminiscent of the old Bystander, where it's your supporter for the turn, and you get a guaranteed gust effect on anything on your opponent's bench.
Knockout 10.
Alright, and Derek already loses 2 Pokemon out the gate, losing Meowth and Ditto Prism Star, so his options, to go into Naganadel end a little early there. You can't get that Dugong to get some snipe action going.
Oh, you're a little.
Did you get the prizes for that?
Mm-hmm. Great ball coming down.
Are you kidding?
Gary's just not thrilled. He sees his knocking eight and he's like, oh boy, I can lose 2 prize cards with this and not get to Stinger. That sounds wonderful, right?
I could have hit a reason or a coffin. You give me this guy. Alrighty.
He's eyeing up what options he still has now.
Alright, make do.
See his first make do. Definitely not trade.
Trade.
See another make do.
Oh my god. All the boxes today. I didn't want to do that.
Great ball, just getting him that Mew. Saw that Mew doesn't help a whole lot in this matchup. You see that Mew already hit the discard pile a little prematurely. There he goes. He's probably thinking about tossing with the quick ball, but decides to throw away Roxy instead. You see that coughing come out. See a communication, getting rid of Naganado, probably going for his other blow-away bomb option. He grabs Wheezing. Everything gets hit with the blow-away bomb for 20 damage. 2 damage counters, let's be correct here. I think it's kind of important that Derek goes ahead and gets down that second Poiple. That way Meg is threatened that she can't just take care of one of them and then hope to get the Stinger. But there we see an Intrepid Sword again, ending the turn.
Pretty.
Meg is just all out abandoning her Inkays and Malamars this game, which is probably for the best. I mean, she only needs 2 attachments. Her Dragapults aren't going to get knocked out very easily. She's able to just kind of stream some damage here. It's a tortoise in the hare. She's taking it slow and steady. That would probably work out for her in the long run.
Erica's for 4.
See Erica's Hospitality, a card that hasn't seen too much play in the stateside, but a lot of Japanese lists have started playing it. We just figured, why not test it out, see what it does.
130.
And on it.
5.
She just slams into that Zacian, hitting the Poiple for a little extra damage. I think in like Meg's ideal world, she could end every scary thing that could happen by being able to use the boss's orders on the fresh Poiple, and then, well, we see Naganado coming down, so that course of action is gone out the window. So now we just kind of want to see boss's orders to clear out Naganado almost.
That's enough. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, Derek finally had to throw down a reset stand, just like 8 cards, nah, 4 sounds better.
Buster.
See, coughing and wheezing going back into the deck. Derek looked like he had a couple communications in there. Oh, no, just another rod. See now with go back in.
Can I see that?
Meg checking some translations here.
And go back in.
Quick ball, pitching a rangaroo.
Kitty.
Kitty comes out. Kitty got
Kitty.
claws.
Tom and Jerry, rat and cat.
Now maybe what Derek is hoping to do here is sack the Naganadel to let Persian be able to trigger. Like, you know, we've already seen Meg's idea of, if I can avoid that, I'd rather avoid it.
Quick ball.
See a quick ball, search out some more cards. And we have Colbert.
Roxy, double buffing. 20.
See blow away bomb, dropping another 20 damage counters on everybody. You need to draw 6 cards. Plowing through that deck.
Wait, so I saw it. I saw it on the deck.
I think maybe what Derek might go for here, and just spitballing, is he knows Meg wants to go 3 prizes, 0 prizes. So if he leaves that Zacian up, he's hoping that Meg is deciding to dig for a boss's orders or just skip the knockout next turn. But really, if Meg can drop that Giganto Phantom, knock him out, drop 5 counters on the Chinchino, the Naganadel comes up to Stinger, game's over.
Oh, I need to. I'm gonna hit one of my game movements.
See, Pennywise giving out some balloons here, letting Derek get out of harm's way. He decides to hide behind Poiple. Gives that intrepid sword another go. Making another Dragapult fully charged up back there. See, quick ball coming out. If V2 always staying in some popularity, this Dragapult deck may not be a bad choice for you.
Go.
V2 can't hit it for weakness. VMAX is going to be able to one-shot it pretty easily with throwing some extra damage around. And even if you can just kind of stream that second attack, the Jet Assault, each Jet Assault's able to get a knockout. So here goes Meg down to 3 prizes again, just where she wanted to be. Derek's ideal world is probably, let me throw away another 1 prizer, so Meg's in that kill it, don't kill it, I don't care. See another Legion coming out.
One on each.
Did one.
Yep. One.
We just see one damage counter coming out from Blowaway Bomb this time. Ooh, here's an interesting card we haven't seen is Island Challenge Amulet. That'll make that Naganita worth only one prize card. And we've seen Derek throw it away, but not actually get to put it on a Pokemon and make it feel of any value there.
Stinger.
Alright, and here comes that Stinger play.
I'm not even gonna waste the time.
And makes that boss's orders to grab Zacian and kill
Say
Zacian and
yeah.
Chinchino.
Yeah.
And that'll wrap up this game 1 in our trial series. Alright, if you liked anything you saw, feel free to drop a follow. Check us out on the social media that we link below. Till next time, Ariados.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
You didn't have time. You didn't have time to play games.
No,
I won the series.
Oh, never mind.
This deck's doo-doo.
You sound like me.
This
I love this deck.
This deck is doo-doo, bro. That matchup is so good for this. How you can just keep spreading and then have baby bounds for Stinger.
right?
So
That's what I like discarded it at the beginning. I'm like, you know what? I'm still gonna stick to mine.
Yeah.
Not
that
take 3
matchup
prizes
is
at the end.
so.
How'd you feel about the deck in general? Would you play it in the future?
Yeah. I actually might try to build it myself now in the end.
And that's why we have our
cool.
trial series.